Hey guys, Thatnub here, and today we are pulling up to Paul's house to do a course on pruning trees.
Something interesting here. You see how this branch right here? See, this was grafted right there. This is another variety.
Mm-hmm.
See how it's different than the rest?
Right.
See, that was grafted right there. And here's another one. See right here?
Yeah.
That was a graft right in there.
So explain why you're cutting where you're cutting.
These are upright suckers. See all these uprights?
Uh-huh.
You see, the fruit is always born on lateral branches that grow laterally.
Mm-hmm.
All the uprights don't bear fruit, and what they'll do is this all create leaves and foliage that will shade all the stuff below it, which you don't want. You want light, and so you need these all act as like a negative in the tree. Not only does it take energy to create all that wood and leaves, it shades and reduces the sun exposure to the fruit that's developing that you want. So you can see how I'm getting all this stuff out of the way to get good light exposure on these lateral branches that will be bearing my fruit.
So when you're pruning your trees, you just cut the ones that are growing upwards.
I'll also do stuff on the sides. I'll show you when we get over here to it.
Okay.
See, like for instance, right here. See, I have all these branches going out.
Right.
So I'm going to take the center one out because it's crowded. Remember I talked about doing centers? See, always taking stuff out of the middle. You see how by taking that out, how that just freed up that space?
Right.
And you see how this one here is crossing over that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'll take that out. See, it crosses over what's below it. Again, this be upright. See this guy here is directly below that, so I'm going to take it out because it's going down, and I want this to come up. It's not getting too low to the ground.
The whole branches?
Yeah, because you see, and as fruit develops on this, it gets heavier and keeps coming down. Gravity works.
So like this one here is coming out, but here it starts going up. So would you just cut it here, or would you just cut the whole?
I'm going to cut it right there and let this guy start. Bring it on down. And again, it's an art form, and so not everybody will see things the same, and so it depends on who you are and how you your perspective. You see, like here, you see I got these three branches, and because this is going to get too full, I'm taking that stuff out of the center. And so what I'm going to do here is this is starting to. I'm going to shorten this. This is getting, too far out. So I'm going to bring this back in. So shorten this over here. So now I just brought my tree back in a bit.
Okay, so like, would you cut this one like up here or down here where it's?
So now you see, this is kind of my top right here, and so I'm going to take this whole thing out right here and let this be my leader.
So you still have this one here that's coming down, and you have this one here that's going out. So.
And I'll shorten this as I get around. But I'm going to take this guy out of the center here. This is too crowded. This is going back over here. So I eliminate that there space. See over here where I got this density at the end. So I take that out. And see, now I'm going to bring this back in because you see I don't want this, again, you want this stuff at the top to be shorter than the stuff coming out. So you want to, see how this starts going over in that space. So I'll shorten that, and I'll take this back shorter than this because you want the stuff above always be shorter than one below because see if it goes beyond it'll shade it. So everything should be, becoming as you come out like a little fir tree. You see the branches at the top are shorter than the ones down below, and that's for a reason. So everything gets light. If the ones above were longer, the stuff underneath would get no light. And so this is why it always does this tapering thing. And so you want to develop that same kind of structure in your fruit trees, so it's all tapered and getting good exposure to light.
Now, if that one was coming down,
See, this is
that would be blocking this.
Crowded in this space. You know? So it's all about everything. Remember, throwing the cat through a tree. The Japanese say when you prune an apple tree, you want to prune it so you can throw a cat through it.
Okay.
And their mentality is it's going to fill in and foliate, and you want to have good light exposure. So if you don't prune it that open, it's going to get too dense. And so you want to really prune your apple trees very open. And again, from my perspective, because these trees produce so much, I'm actually trying to reduce the amount of fruit they're producing. So I tend to be probably prune more out than most people would. But again, I'm challenged with too much abundance, so I'm trying to reduce fruit production. And so obviously I eliminate what fruit hangs on, the branches, and I'm going to reduce the production that's coming from it. So I really make a point to get real open.
So all of these ones that are going up, those will all go, these will go, that'll go.
Yep. You got it.
Will you keep this one here?
Yeah, I'll probably keep that, and then I'll drop this up that's coming in and make this nice airspace in here. I'll get over there, you'll see. Now you see how this crosses back over that? So
Right.
I'm going to just get that out of the way. You see how that just opened up that, freed that density up. You see, I got plenty of room here, so I'm just going to thin up this stuff and just crowd into space.
Now, this one here is hanging down. How come we didn't just cut it instead?
It's done now.
Okay.
See now I have this nice this cold group coming out this way. Get this thing out of here, and you'll see what a nice. See how this. You see how nice it's all just everything on the short. You see how everything is good. It all fits. Nothing is crowded. Crosses over. Try to get I got a path I'm going to try to maintain, so take this back. Because this is getting so low to the ground here, I'm going to take this back to here. See, as apples develop on this, it's going to come down lower because gravity works. So I got to keep lifting it up so it's not laying on the ground. When the tree was little, these big branches produced tons of fruit. But as the tree got bigger and things started developing on top, it shaded those. What I was finding is that these trees are loaded with all this fruit down below that never get ripe because they didn't get sun, and I'm picking up off the ground hundreds of little tiny green apples. I'm thinking like, this is a lot of work, and what's the point? So it was really hard because these are the branches that are bearing all my fruit, but because of what's happening now above, this is shaded and it's not producing. So all these big branches had to come out because the top became exposed to the light, and that was becoming what became the tree. And because of the weight of the fruit, you see even the top now has bent down. It's down as low as these were because the weight brings it right on down because of the fruit being so heavy.